What's good, YouTube? And welcome to this not being about me, but I'ma make it about me. Dragon Rulers have topped a WCQ, and during pre-sales, I said I felt like this deck was being so underestimated, but I didn't want to push it, and asked for community feedback, and everyone was like, no, you're wrong, it's doing nothing in the OCG, it failed over there, it's not gonna manage anything over here, nothing at all, and so many other people are like, it doesn't matter what the OCG does, it could be a fun deck, and you know, casual doesn't mean broke, and I did agree that even if it didn't necessarily do anything, people might buy into it to be able to just play Dragon Rulers and have member berries. It's one of the past formats that has the most buyouts, but here it's having fun on one of the biggest stages of Yu-Gi-Oh! A WCQ early in the season. And with that, so many buyouts have been happening on this. All of the baby rulers are going up. Lightning Dragon Ruler of Drafts is going up, and I do want to put an asterisk here. Baby rulers and Dragon Rulers have this cycle of buyouts because Dragon Ruler is one of the most overhyped past formats of all time, I want to say. So I'm not patting myself on the shoulder too hard here saying, hey, this was underestimated, it did it, and look at all these crazy results. There are crazy results, but it also has that kind of hedge bet people make that it's a past format that could take off once again. Reactin is also going pretty crazy. Even the commons back over $2, and you can see the platinum secrets going, and then Burner is going up a bit for its QCR. If you click on it, it's like 24 versus a market price of 22, where it was falling back down like the rest. Stream is just really up there, and this also has the mix of potential with Merlantians, I suppose. And then Tenpai Dragon Genroku, its QCR has absolutely spiked up here towards 50. Its ultra rare hit 20 at one point and is already back down to 12 to 13 with people willing to sell. And then you have Tenpai Dragon Pydra doing a bit of a double up back to $11. Flashbacks to when this was 20. So there's so many buyouts on Dragon Rulers. It's proving itself on one of the bigger stages of Yu-Gi-Oh! That it can do it. Yes, it's a bit of a rogue deck at this moment. It's not like a mainstay name in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! But it did punch up against everybody's expectations. And what's that they're playing on? It's a Dank Ritual playmat, which is today's sponsor. Now, they allow me on sponsorships to say whatever I want in the reviews, and I do think there's two negatives on this binder to go with a ton of the positives. The first big positive, so many different color ways, and I think they did a great job picking those out and giving options. That really nice pink here does it big. And I always like to put the negatives first overall, though, on functionality before speaking about the positives, because I put the audience first. The first thing is the binding is a bit too tight, and I talked with the owner about that, and they immediately did recognize that was the case. You can see here it bows a little, meaning I want to put anything too valuable on this front row, on the front 2 pages, and the back 2 pages. This binding here is what is tight. The inner binding, though, is absolutely exceptional, and I really like it. Now, watch this open. There's not much of a peak. I have to really drag this out to force any peak, and how it actually rests when you open does not create pretty much a peak that is too noticeable at all. Look at how it's actually resting. Now, with that, I still, personally, would never put anything valuable on the front page of a binder. That's not because of theft, and it's not because I'm scared. This is really nice, actually. They have a very strong inner thing where I'm not scared, and I have some of the more valuable cards, ironically, on here for testing out of the Mega Pack. But what I'm saying is, with any binder, when you have that front page, you're going to get a little peek on the front one, and it's about how things go after. Let me actually show you a competitor and their empty binder, where this is filled with 150 cards, and it can go to 300. This is their empty binder being filled in a video on the front page, and you can see the peek out the gate with this off the table and how bad it is, and how that might end up curving cards if you're not careful. So your front page on any binder, no matter how exceptional the binding, is going to do that, but with this specific binder, it has some of the least peaking opening, check that out, of pretty much any, and so maybe the first, second page, I'd avoid valuables and start from there. as I would with most retail binders. The second positive here also, aside from the colors, is the price point of $40. There's no discount code with the channel or anything like that. It is $40, and I also love their sleeves. This is filled with their sleeves, which are a thicker matte sleeve that I appreciate and ask for free ones anytime they're doing a deal with me. And you know I'm pushing that without a promo code. They only want me to review the binders. The second part of this that is bad is that this front scratches insanely easily. I did a test binder. I'm actually going to grab it. I didn't plan to necessarily show it. And I tested the front, and it scratches up. You can see there. It scratches up pretty darn badly, and I can just create fresh scratches in it. There we go. There's the light hitting it, and there's the fresh one. You can see the others I've tried the heat treat and that kind of stuff. With that, my intrusive thoughts won, and I was like, how do stickers and stuff do on that? For a mid-price binder at $40, they stick exceptionally well, and they look really good on it. And I've heard that a lot of people end up putting stickers all over their deck boxes and other stuff when they're walking around at regionals. My opinion on this binder is it's a solid 8.5. If they fix this tight binding, it instantly goes to a 9.5 and a high-end binder, in my opinion. So I hope in the future they do. But overall, way more positives than negatives. It has a lot of the same things that I would do with typical binders, of avoiding the front 2 pages because you can see how it pinches into them here, and the rest of the binder is great. If you're a vendor currently, a 2-for-5 binder optimally fit. It puts in 300 plus cards, that kind of stuff. It's really a decent binder, and I would be considering it myself if I was purchasing and still vending and needing binders to go out and get. Now let's get back to the meta instead of talking about TCG accessories. Castell's one of those I'm right for the wrong reasons. I thought this would eventually catch on for past formats. This is for current formats the QCR is going up for. It is being used to enable Harpy's Featherstorm. That's your purpose, along with having a good effect and the ability to bounce. That's, we already talked about Featherstorm being up, but that is the main purpose in life of Castell as a ability to come out of the extra deck of, and you see it's basically doubling up in price for the QCR for a much more powerful card. Mulch armies are continuing to go up, almost $400 on Fulos, and I believe it has a sale in there as well. Yeah, $410 for the QCR. We have the Mulch Army Meows I brought up recently. It's gone even further beyond. I think it's selling consistently in the 80s, and the lowest are 83 on here. Yeah, it's really, really good, this format, with how prevalent Malice is, and you see that it has just taken off. So, Mulch Armies all around, WCQ season, especially the higher rarities, are continuing to churn upwards. Regenesis, we covered the secret rare. The QCR really flew off as well, and now is listed lowest $75 and has multiple sales right there at $75. So people are picking up this deck. I don't think it's picked up too many more results, but managing to do it already on the YCS scene and having a different deck that was underestimated tends to have people go a bit crazy, doesn't it? Gordian Slicer is a card that I just felt the potential of, and Mitsurugi doesn't care all that much about the extra deck. So this card is seeing play, and its QCR has also really bounded up towards $67, $68 about. DDD got new support announced. It's an entire novel to read, but people say it's pretty good. And with that, DD Swirl Slime has gone even further up. We were covering this recently, and now it's 22 to 24 lowest. DDD Abyss King Gilgamesh is also becoming a $2 card very quickly. You can see some copies are under that, but not too many, and it's easier to check out on TCG Player around $2. DDD Marksman King Tell only comes as a rare twice in 2 different sets, the Clash of Rebellions and the Mega Pack version. These are both up pretty significantly, and I think the OG's barely cheaper. They're both around $4. Ready Fusions 1 we just brought up, and it's spiking even further, so be aware, people are continuing to buy this up, I believe for the Dark Magician deck, if I'm not mistaken. Number C101 is for the OCG meta with Versus Canine, and people have bought out every single holographic version of this, spiking it on up. You still have easy access versions using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. But yeah, if you just want a cheap version, you're gonna get it really cheap. But if you want a holographic version, now you're paying a pretty darn good amount. And finally, Vanilla is starting to try to become a dollar card. There's still plenty of quarters right now, but if you go and look at the sales, a bunch of people are buying them up as dollars. Apparently this is for Yummy from the OCG, and people choose to play this one in it. Wow, I did not ever think I'd be saying vanilla buyout unless it somehow became super collectible, but vanillas in the game do tend to surprise, don't they? Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these more in-depth discussions. And again, congrats, I don't want to murder the name, but Tygo, really doing it big with Dragon Rulers. It's not about me, even though I made it about me. It's really cool to see rogue decks able to perform at that level when everybody said it couldn't be done. I am a huge fan of that.